Hey guys, Nabil here. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for helping Neo Geo Now get to 10,000 subscribers. We hit the milestone last night and it happened on stream live, which made it even more special. So again, thank you so much for those who subscribe, and for those who are watching this video, please consider subscribing to Neo Geo Now. Now, I wanted to talk about the King of Fighters R's Letter. Now, I talked about this manga or webtoon before, but I decided to do this video. It will be an overview on what this comic book is all about. So this is not a review. I will say my opinion on this series, but this is not a review. There's gonna be another video series where we're going to review, episode by episode, but it's not gonna happen now, and I'll tell you why later on. So, what is the King of Fighters R's Letter? Now, this was announced last week and then it was released last week all of a sudden. We had no idea this was happening, but it is actually a webtoon. And what a webtoon, like when I heard the webtoon for the first time, my thinking was like, what is this? Is this like an animation or something? No, I didn't know that until last week, but webtoon is a form of comic books, digital comic books that is very popular in Korea. So think of it as the Marvel digital comics or DC digital comics, but they don't have that animation like when you go like guided view, if you will, not animation. However, it's done in a way that everything is a panel. Like it kind of looks to me like anime storyboards or movie storyboards. So like you follow the action, you don't have to see what's happening on the other panel. It's like panel by panel, very detailed, very big. And again, very, very, very big in Korea. So yes, the King of Fighters Letters of R is a webtoon, so a digital comic. And again, we had no idea this was happening. It's actually done by Inplay Interactive, which is a Korean company, gaming company that is known for bringing international games to Korea, doing the translations, etc. So that's what they're known for. This is the first time they're doing this, like a webtoon, and they decided to go with the King of Fighters. In their page, they said that, they actually announced it a little bit before, but nobody knew about this. Nobody heard about it, but they did announce that they were working on a King of Fighters webtoon. So, and that's of course the King of Fighters R's Letter. Now, when the comic launched last week, it launched with 7. Let me go ahead and show you. So this is the page. So it's available on 2 places in Korea: Tumix and Naver or Naver. I don't know how you say it, but Tumix. Both these sites have U.S. versions for them or international versions, but this manga, this book, is not available in English yet, and there's no announcement that it's going to be available. But fear not, I actually went into the source and asked and waiting to see if I can get an answer for you guys soon. So yes, when it came out, all of a sudden there was actually 7. They basically gave 6 chapters and a prologue. So the prologue and then 6 chapters for free, and then you have to purchase the rest. And they released all of a sudden, like on the first go, they released 15 chapters. So all of these were released on the 5th of June, and then from now on every week they add 1 more chapter. So yesterday's chapter happened, so on the 12th is chapter 16th. So what is this all about? This webtoon, again, this is something that we always wanted to see. So it starts from the beginning, from the very, very beginning. The King of Fighters 94, I'm not gonna call it King of Fighters 94, and I'll explain why. So the prologue chapter, which you'll see later on, actually shows Kyo fighting Iori, and there's even Yashiro in there, and then it's like a short chapter, and then it goes back in the past, and then everything starts from the beginning. So their plan is to do the Orochi Saga, all of it first, and then, so this is going to be a long running series. They're not planning to do a few chapters and call it a day. So it starts from the beginning. We get to know things like how Kyo and Benimaru met, how Kyo and Goro met, pretty much everything. How Kim recruited Choi and Chang, things like that. Really detailed stuff. We get to know, and the good thing about this, again, I've went through the entire first 16 chapters or 16 episodes is what they're calling them, and they can be adapted into an anime pretty easily. So I hope that's gonna happen. But it is really good. The story is really good. The art is beautiful. It's all in color, as you can see, and it actually has that manga feel where it can get very serious, very dark. We get to see some, of Kyo's past is a little bit dark and dramatic, and then there's some really funny moment, like it switched into funny, how there's funny manga faces, if you will, and it's really great. So it's starting from the beginning, the first tournament, but from going through the entire first 15 chapters or 16 chapters, they're not gonna do the King of Fighters 94 and then the King of Fighters 95. From what I'm seeing, and I'll tell you why this is smart, they're combining King of Fighters 94 and 95. They kind of making King of Fighters 95 the first tournament, but then it's also the first time they get to meet Rogal, the first time they get to meet each other. So they kind of retconned 94 and 95. And funnily enough, remember I was telling you guys I was going to do a video about how SNK should make a King of Fighters anime, right? I was going to do that last week. I got so busy, or 2 weeks ago. It's crazy busy with work and family. But one of the suggestions I was going to make is to combine 94 and 95 in one story, or just forget about 94. And the reason is, if you're telling a story that you want to start the whole Orochi saga, it will be very repetitive to do 94, which is the first tournament, and then right after 95, which is a very similar tournament. It's still Rugal. It's nothing major, except Iori's introduction happens between these two games, right? And it's just, and really the story of the Orochi saga started picking up, or started taking shape in the King of Fighters 95, right? So I think it's really smart that they're doing that, so that they avoid that, well, we have a tournament and they defeated Rugal, there's another tournament, they defeated Rugal again, there's another tournament, it's Genet. So doing 4 tournaments in that, short lapse, if you will, of time is just not, it's very difficult to pull off from a story perspective. Yes, it's not as canon as a lot of people want, that they want to follow 94, 95, etc. But it's just not gonna happen. If they did that, by 95 people will lose interest and probably won't be able to finish the story. So I think what they're doing is really smart. And what I love again about this webtoon is the level of details about these characters. It's like it really gets really personal with these characters, something we've never seen in any King of Fighters manga before. Nothing, we've never seen this before, I'm telling you. So just give you an example. They have they talk, Yuri is there, so I'm not gonna tell you what happens, okay? I'm not gonna spoil anything. So Yuri is, they basically, Yuri is involved in something, and then she remembers why she's fighting, and then when she remembers, they actually retell the Art of Fighting game in a few pages, which is just really, really amazing to see it. Like, they show, Mr. Big and whatnot, and that was amazing to just see that. Again, when they get to Kim, they really show you who Kim is and why he went and recruited those 2 criminals who just, escaped from prison, Choi and Chang. So it's it's like, this thing is really the King of Fighters, stories we wanted to have since 1994. I mean, this is literally what I always wanted in an anime series, in a manga series. And it is happening. It's really well done. So again, I've seen, so Athena, for example, Athena and Kensun, they show the relationship between them, and it just get into details. And then all of a sudden they go into like a really funny, and I mean really funny, gag or something that happens. But then again, they switch to something very dramatic and kind of like dark, like you see some of the past of Kyo, and it's really, really, really nice. You see Haidern, why is he there? Why is he fighting? About his family and his tragedy. It is fantastic. I am really happy that they did this. Now my hope is that I'm hoping for 2 things. I hope they're gonna give us an official English version soon, because I mean it's Webtoon or 2mix is available on both countries. In Play Interactive knows that this is an international franchise. There's a lot of people who are interested. And the second thing, I'm really hoping they adapt this into an anime. It's really there. There is not a lot of work into adapting. I'm not talking about the work of animating, of course, but the adaptation is just there, dude. Like, they're going panel by panel, like scene to scene. And I'm just thinking here about things that I felt were really strong with the webtoon is I know they really respect the game. So in every King of Fighters tournament we've seen on tournament manga or comic book or animation in the the King of Fighters Destiny, when they get to the tournament, they go and fight in, like, you know, basically they don't fight in the stages except for a new beginning. They did that correctly. But in the other ones, they just go into like the stadium or ring or whatever. But this one, so there was a fight, and like the first, because the tournament started in the webtoon. So the first fight, they actually fight in the Japan stage from King of Fighters 94 with the construction workers and all that, and it's part of the tournament. And there's someone there representing Rugal, filming for Rugal, which is really, really nice. Then there's another fight, and it's actually the China stage from the King of Fighters 95 with the waterfall, and it just, everything comes to life. You can, like, when I'm looking at those stages and like looking at the fight going on, and the action is amazing. You actually kind of like, I almost hear the stage music in my ears. That's how, you know, representative of the actual game it is. And believe it or not, there was a moment where it really was amazing, to the point where, because, you know, again, not spoiling, but like knowing the characters, knowing who makes it, who doesn't make it in the game, not make it, but who's, you know, who's more important than others, if you will, in King of Fighters. And then you know, like, oh, this team is gonna win for sure. But then they put you in a, like, it's very, dude, like, you get to this point where, like, no, this is not gonna happen. Oh my god, are they really gonna do that? And then they stop and move on to something else, and they keep you guessing for like another chapter before they go back. And then it makes sense of why they did what they did. Again, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it is an amazing King of Fighters story so far. Again, I've seen the first 16 episodes. It's the pace is amazing, the art is beautiful, the action is there, the drama is there. This is everything a King of Fighters fan would want from a King of Fighters story. Now, again, my only hope is that we're gonna get this animated, because it will be a waste if we don't get this animated. Dude, I mean, I like the King of Fighters Destiny, right? But this thing blows it out of the water in terms of storytelling. Like, storytelling, of course, difficult to compare an anime, CGI anime to a comic book. But from a story perspective, dude, it completely destroys it. Like, just from this first 16 chapters, this thing is amazing. It's everything, again, everything a King of Fighters fan would want. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I couldn't tell you like what happened in each episode, but I will be doing a review series to be able to review, give you a bit of a glimpse, show you at least the free chapters, adapt the free chapters if possible. We'll see how it goes. But this is definitely something you want to check out. There's a link in the description for Tumix. You can get the free chapters. Get in the paid one is impossible if you're not living in Korea or you don't know someone who live in Korea, because those websites do not accept international credit card. They do not accept PayPal or MasterCard or Visa. So I tried to actually buy them, but you just couldn't tell. So luckily, and again, I want to do this. This is a big shout out from Zime, who's actually helping out by helping me get these chapters and helping me with the translation, so I can know what's happening in those stories. Now, that is pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, thanks a lot for watching.